Welcome back. Get ready for part 2 of Cinematic Talk with special guest Yolonda Ross analyzing her film Breaking Night. In the last segment, we spoke about the placement of black characters. Now we are taking it a step further by exploring direction and the framing of the characters. Framing and directing actors and actresses tie into how images are portrayed and examined by the viewer. At times, it can play into stereotypes with or without knowing. It gives you a false illusion of what you think may be. Whatever you think be is to you, but in fact, it is not. This ties into stored images, good or bad, stereotyped or not. We all have consumed by television, cinema, and everyday living. How authentic are the characters? If I have not experienced it, is it not true? Is there a difference between being authentic versus an interpretation of what you, the outsider, meaning financial status, gender, or race, that is different from the viewer, think it may be? Let's take a listen.
You see an image of the disco lady, right? And you see a guy right behind her. Yes, couples do stand that close to each other. But the way it was shot, and then you see this big hat, his hat looked a little pimpish. If there was a wider shot where you can see...
Well, when you say pimpish, meaning he looks fly, right? I mean, what do you mean by pimpish? I mean... As far as I think of black men wearing anything, black men just look good in what they wear. So
this is true.
Just like a black dude in these times wearing a baseball cap a certain way, or Jay-Z wearing a hat of some sort. It's like we don't just wear things just any old which way. You wear things to look good. So
right,
that's
but
the way
wait a minute, Yolanda. You making a point there. But if you see a guy in a baseball cap, automatically you're probably going to think he's into the hip hop culture.
And you're thinking about now. This is not now. That film.
Okay, no. I know this is not now. This takes place in the 70s. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying from my perspective and how I see it, and the shots being kind of fast, and kind of minimal, it was like quick shots. Remember, I told you, I thought he had on a coat, one of those overcoats. So when I looked at it again, I'm like, wow, okay, he didn't have on an overcoat. Now, that could be me remembering other images and bringing that into
that is exactly what I think is happening, because you're not the first person to bring that up or to say something like that. And I think what does happen is we're so used to seeing certain images, and they are black men, because at the same time, I hate to say it. It's like, no, I don't hate to say it. What I hate to say is that I feel like film and television has done, black people a disservice, because we automatically, off the bat see certain images and then just assume. We assume this or that, as far as stereotypes. Because, when I actually put this together, there are lookbooks and all that kind of stuff. Like, I put pictures together. There were images of certain movies I thought of for everything. And one of them, for the male, as far as what he's wearing and how he looks and everything, there, one of them was Saturday Night Fever, and that's John Travolta. And he was very white, but when he went out dancing, he looked a certain way, but he worked in a paint store. And also just like pictures of my uncles and my dad, when they would go out, it's like they dressed up. You don't dress down to go out usually, and for that time, that's what people wore.
But but Yolanda,
looking in the back of Jet, looking at hats, men wearing hats, and that's how they modeled them.
Right.
So to me, I feel, he looks like with the hair Clark used for it, he reminds me of Nick Ashford in a way.
I can see that. I can see all of your points. However, the way it was shot and how it was a tight shot, I can understand why people would have to double take, would have to look at that shot a few times to say, oh, okay, I see it. But I mean, looking at it.
But the way it was shot. So what about how it was shot? Because
the
shot reminds me of something from Brian De Palma's movies. That's where I got it from.
I'm going to bring out
him.
Okay, I'm going to bring up two points from the shot.
Okay.
When the disco couple came up to the girl sitting down on the ground, right? The way he was behind her, right? So close up on her. Yes, couples do that, but images that I've seen, and it appeared as if he was her pimp, okay? And then I just think that if that shot was opened up a little bit more, where you can establish it a little bit better, what he's wearing, I don't think I would have gotten that. To me, it doesn't really have anything to do with... But when he comes out the
store, you can see his whole outfit when he comes out of the store.
Okay, let me explain that too. Now, when he comes out the store, this doesn't have anything to do with his race. I wasn't looking at it from that perspective. I was looking at his mannerism and how he interacted with the women, right? And to me, I would think if they were a couple, I would have thought they were a couple if they came out together. Normally, the guy have his arm around the woman, and they walking close, right? But in this situation, in your film, he went out first. He went his way. She came out afterwards. She went that way.
One thing I did, that was my fault with because I did want him to come out. I wanted him to hold the door. Because one thing is, I wanted you to see the legs. I didn't want everything all crumpled together because the shot wasn't about them. It was about the movement of their legs and seeing them pass the girl sitting down, because literally the camera is just pushing in on her. So one of the things is that other person is not me. So I didn't want to focus in on them, but I do want you to look at the bottom of them passing her. I did actually want him to open the door, and that is my fault, but that would have been the only change because there's no way they could both go out at the same time. I just didn't want to.
Well, you didn't really show her face when she came out.
Well, I didn't want to. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it worked.
But you don't see either one of their faces, really. I mean,
but I wanted
he opens the door.
Right. I wanted to tell you that in that particular situation, I wasn't looking at race. I was looking at his mannerism and how he interacted with them. How he was closed up. When they first walked up to her, how they was leaving, how they exited different ways. I'm looking at all of that. How he gave her the card. How later on he kissed her. Hopefully, I'm not saying too much. But and let me know. I'll cut it out.
People don't know, so to make them look at it. But
I know I would want to see it.
As far as the interaction at the beginning, it's like when you first see her, and it is only about her, because that's why he's not really even shown, because it's not about him. When the two women look at each other, that is about him, because you see she walks out of frame and then not there, and then he comes in. So it's like it wasn't about him at all. It's about him giving her the card, and he is a positive as far as the black men in the film. And that's
right. I mean, I get that after you told me. Yes, I get that. And then the disco woman. Well, I was going to say the disco woman, when you took a shot of her, right, because you showed her expression, she didn't really have oh, honey child, oh, look at that poor thing. She didn't really have that expression. In fact, she was expressionless, if you ask me. She just looked at her like, from the young lady's perspective, maybe it was her looking in the mirror. So I can understand the disco woman not having an expression, right? But at the same time, if we're just looking at the disco woman alone by herself, I'm like, I would think she would smile a little bit or give her some type of acknowledgement that you're going to be okay, we're here to help you. But I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, it's not I wasn't putting that out there. It is more or less like, there's a little glimmer, but it's not really something that's all that readable. It is between those two characters, and it's kind of like an understanding, and that's why the moment is held between them. But it isn't like she's telling her anything or, whatever. It's the presence of that person that really is it.
I got that too.
My personal question is I really do wonder if it were a white couple, would people even question it? Like, I do wonder that.
Well, I'm only going to answer for myself. And I would say, let me think about that for a second. I would probably say, question if he was a pimp? I would probably, if they did exactly the same thing, I probably would assume he was. Absolutely. Especially coming out the store and how they walked separate ways. Because if they were together, why wouldn't he have his arm around her or holding her hand or opening the door? Something where they're actually
I do
together.
See her as a woman that can take care of herself. I mean, she was like a sophisticated woman of her own. Like, I would have had him open the door, but hands on each other, I didn't want to put that because I wasn't defining them as a couple or being together in that way. I mean, I'm putting them together in the car, and they are together, but what exactly their relationship is, it's not like they are necessarily a couple. They could be working together. They could be a lot of things, but I wasn't trying to put a label on what they were together. Okay. You know what I mean? Like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife. It's not like I was trying to make them that kind of thing. Right. And just using part of what the song was saying, Literally, it really is kind of that general. And I made them a disco couple for the time period. But I did see them as, two people that work together. Whether she's a singer and he's just like doing a million kinds of things, trying to make his, But it is like, it's kind of that simple.
I think if it was shot open just a little bit more, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, I think it would have made a big difference. I don't think you would have gotten so many questions on that part, or the misunderstanding of him being a pimp.
It's interesting. I mean, it's interesting to hear people's points of view on it.
Yeah. It's a great film. You have so many good points. Even at the end with your eye movement, the way it was edited, the music, timing was perfect. It was like you went to the beat of the music, or the music went to the beat of your eyes or whatever. Like, that was so perfect. I was like, oh man, I wish I was an editor right then and there at that moment, just editing that particular part. It was beautifully done right there. I loved it. I'm going to probably watch it a few more times. With this film, it's so many things you can study as an actor, and just studying you alone, and everyone actually. No one really had any lines. It was all about interaction, facial expression, body language. Just studying a person from that perspective, character study, like that is helpful in itself. The whole cinematography standpoint of it, and how to shoot. How to shoot at night, or how to shoot different types of images.
Different colors. That too, catching different things. A lot of natural light.
Right, and then on top of that, you can even add the music. Like, the timing, the pacing of the music is very important. Very important. And that played a role as well. There's so much to study there. Finally, somebody actually took the time to study the craft and understand how it all works. And then it's just it's not the same old people. You want to see more people doing this, not the same old 5 people. I'm happy for them. I really am. But it's like, come on,
me too, but I'd like to see some others.
Yeah, it's like it has to be some more talented people out there. And
trust me, there are.
Yeah, but where are they? And that's why I want to utilize this magazine to get their work out there. And it's not just anyone's work. I mean, I'm talking some good stuff, some good images, some people who are pushing the envelope with filmmaking. Like, what are we doing? What's the where we are the next generation. It's happening now. The next part of the movement that's been happening long before we were here, it's continuing on. And how are we elevating it? How are we pushing it to the next level? Now we're in a digital age where people are able to pick up a camera, but do you know how to use that camera? Do you know that you need to white balance before you start shooting? And all this other technical stuff. Or even with sound and understanding that, okay, yes, you got a beautiful film and it's done well, but there's no type of movement when it comes to sound. That's an art in itself. And people are forgetting that important, people are forgetting that important aspect. And they think they can just put a couple of tracks on it and it'll work. But no, that's an art. It's like, and you can tell with your film, again, using it as a template, that obviously they took the time to place it, to, music helped move the film along. It puts you in a certain mood.
Short films and films, like, it's one of those things, like, putting some sort of sound in does make a huge difference. Like,
yes,
just having actors acting and then there's no surround sound or no room sound or no, just life sounds. It sounds weird, when there's no sound. So, I mean, people should take the time to spend a little bit of extra money, somehow finding a sound person to do that for you. It's a world difference in making something come alive.
And body language. It was you and the lead character. It was just, wow, it was just refreshing to look at. It was like, wow, this is somebody who actually took the time to not only study their craft, but write a wonderful script and execute it very well. So I really commend you, Yolanda. I'm very proud of you. You need to come back to Cinematic Magazine and write that column again.
I know me and my sad self, I'm so slow at everything. I'm sorry.
That's okay, because this was worth it. It's like, I get it. I get what you're doing.
We conclude with Yolanda Ross telling us how you could see Breaking Night and a little insight on her upcoming film Go for Sisters, co-starring Lisa Gay Hamilton. All right, people, we're coming to the end of this web exclusive. Now, beyond analyzing the characters and their placement, we also discussed the importance of sound design. We looked at character study, cinematography. The cinematography for this film was absolutely amazing. Any cinematographer that can take a light and dark image in the same frame and light it well, particularly at night, have to be commended. And you will definitely see that in this film. The cinematographer name is Justin Zweifach. You may want to look him up. He's excellent. This film is a great template on the execution of storytelling, specifically visually. So please go and check out Breaking Night, directed by Yolanda Ross.
Now your film is playing. Your film is playing at a film festival coming up, right? Tell everybody about that.
We have okay, so August is a big month for us. Our screening in the Black Star Film Festival in Philadelphia.
That's a new festival.
Through 4th. That's August 1st through 4th. And then we are also screening here in New York at the Rural Route Film Festival on August 4th. And I believe that's in Queens.
Oh, Queens. That's my hometown. Okay, wait a minute. What's the name of it again?
It's on a rooftop, Rural Route.
Okay.
I'll be posting about that, soon.
Okay.
And that's going to be August 4th at night. They screen outside, so that should be a lot of fun up on a rooftop. And Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival, August 6th through 10th.
Okay.
Looking forward to that a lot, too.
Yeah, that's a nice festival. I heard that's a very nice festival. A friend of mine went.
Me too.
So you're going to have a lot of fun there.
We have a lot of fun at all of them, man.
Yeah.
It's just, really nice to be able to have the film screened for people to see it on a big screen because it looks really good big. Because we had a screening at BAM that was sold out, and it was amazing. Oh, my gosh, it was amazing.
I can imagine.
And then at the end of the year, the film is going to be on the band's website, Manfred Band's website. So then I can post the link and everything to that so people can just see it.
Okay, well, that's great. And hopefully, OWN can pick it up, or I don't know, one of these networks. Somebody needs to pick it up. Really.
I know. A friend of mine took it over to TV One, so we'll see.
Okay, well that's good. So tell me one more time about the feature film that you're going to shoot next summer. What is that about? Give us an exclusive.
It's about a family, single mom with 2 boys, and just what children go through during divorce.
Okay.
From the child's point of view.
Nice.
Mhm.
A lot of times we forget the kids and how it affects them. Even with losing a parent. I lost a parent at a very young age. That had a great effect on me. So you know, I'm interested in seeing this film. I wish you well with that. I know it's going to be done well. Yolanda, it's been fun. It's been great. Your film, your short film, it's beautiful. But you know that Breaking Night. Everyone has to go and see Breaking Night when it comes. You have 3 times. No, actually 2 times. 2 times in August to see it in New York. Come on, people. In Queens and also in August 1st through the 4th. Where is that?
In Philly.
Oh, that's in Philly. Come on, that's right down the block. That's like what? No. 3 hours away. That's not far.
No, it's
a little
not.
road trip. A road trip.
Exactly.
Get some Philly cheese dogs or something. I don't eat that stuff, but I'm saying. And then come back to Queens August 4th and see it on the rooftop, okay? And then go to Martha's Vineyard
and go see it again.
August
by the
6th
water.
to the 10th. Exactly. And have some fun out there. So once again, thank you, Yolanda. And we're definitely going to follow up as you progress with your featured film. I'm very excited about that, and I wish you well. Any last remarks?
Thank you. Well, it's always good speaking with you. I hate that it's been so long, but you can check out all the film festivals on Twitter and on Facebook. There's Martha's Vineyard, African American Film Festival, Black Star in Philadelphia, and Rural Route Films, all online.
Well, there you have it. I'm Angel B.
Oh wait, and our film, and our website, Breaking Night Film.
Hello, you definitely want to.
I forgot. Oh, also, and then my name, Yolonda Ross. I just want to, help people just continue to follow my work and thank you guys for listening and watching.
Thank you once again for listening to this web exclusive. I am going to try to bring you an exclusive at least once a week. I'm your host, Angel B., publisher of Cinematic Magazine. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Cinematic Mag. Go to our website at cinematicmag.com. That's cinematic with a Q instead of a C, mag.com. Or you can go to our new YouTube channel, Cinematic TV, and of course on Facebook at Cinematic Magazine, all spelled out one word.